Alright, for recording people, I apologize if I'm clearing my throat a little bit. I'm coming down with something. Caught it from my son. I guess I started getting it today. So I just apologize if I'm clearing my throat a few times on this call. But before I get into questions, I'm going to be doing a couple videos here coming up. So I'll probably do them hopefully Wednesday. Then maybe David will get them up Wednesday night, Thursday, maybe Friday. Um, should be some awesome videos. I'm going to introduce some stuff on domain authority stacking, which Jimmy will cover more in the director's cut, but I want to give people an introduction and tell you how you can start to do domain authority stacking at a excuse me, at a more easy level, because it actually took me a long time to learn it because I started with like his complicated models, so that made it more difficult. So I think it's going to be good for everyone if I introduce it on a basic level, kind of like a beginner level, and then we can expand on it from there over time. So that's something that you can really use to, if you're stuck, that can be one of the things that really boosts you up as domain authority stacking. And then, yeah, Vince, any type of questions on this webinar. And then the other video, I'm going to be going over what a kind of like a natural looking local site looks like right now, like the sites that are ranking, and we're going to go into what's ranking local sites and how we have an advantage and all that type of stuff. So we've got a couple of really good videos coming up that I think will really help everyone. I've had a couple people message me in the last couple weeks saying they're stuck on page 2. Main authority stacking will help that, and then the other video, and it'll help everyone all around. And the other video will help pretty again everyone understand what's ranking local sites. I'm going to show proof. I'm going to show all types of different things. So just a couple of videos that should be coming this week. All right, so we got enough questions in now as I'm rambling. So let me get a screenshot. All right, from Dennis here. Siloing a city guide site, good or bad? I mean, it depends how big it's going to be, Dennis. You may not need to silo it if it's going to be a smaller site. But again, it really depends on how deep you're going to be going into your topics. Because I mean, in order to silo it, you have to have a topic and then at least 5 subcategories of that topic. So it just depends if you can go that deep into a topic. If you can, silo it. If not, I would say it's not a huge deal, because if it's a topic that you can't go that in depth on. It's probably not going to be that competitive, most likely. Yeah, you can do a city guide site on anything you want. You can have all different topics. Because I mean, the point of the My City Guide is to provide resources for that city. So you can provide health resources, you can provide home improvement resources, and we did that with Franklin TN Guide before it got hit because of the same hosting issues, which of course we made the videos on. But yeah, the My City Guide, that's the point of that, is to recommend the best topic in this city, so you can go out in different niches. That's what we were doing. It was working great until we just we got hit with that thing, that the new thing with the where you can't use the new host, or I'm sorry, the same host on our linking. All right, from Kara. Thanks for coming, Kara. An EMD versus an expired domain. That's a tough question. I use both. Again, I'm not necessarily recommending using expired domains for money sites. I'm still doing it, but I don't want to recommend it to the masses. But yeah, it's still working great. But at the same time, EMDs are working very good as well. So even partial match sites. So I mean, I wouldn't say there's like a really a That's so hard to answer. For an EMD, you're not going to want to use an EMD obviously for like a really large site because an EMD is about a specific topic. So if you're going to be using EMDs, I would more, of course, keep them for a site that's kind of on one topic, obviously, because you can't go outside of that. Like NashvilleSEO.org, we can't really talk about too much else. We do have web design on there, like pages for web design, reputation management, stuff like that. But I mean, a site like Nashville SEO, it's not going to be about like Texas SEO. It's called Nashville SEO, so it's going to be about Nashville SEO for the most part. We do cover, of course, similar topics. Like I said, if you go into here, you see we have stuff on, reputation management, web design, social media. That all has to do with SEO. So when you're using an EMD, it's going to be something where you're going to be sticking to the topic for the most part. Okay. On the other end, if you want to use expired domains or a branded site, a new branded site, either way, that's going to be something more where you have like a larger site on more topics. Okay. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily better or worse, because I mean Google, they go back and forth with stuff like right now they're showing a lot of love for EMDs. They're showing a lot of love for both, really, expired domains and EMDs. But again, I don't want to recommend expired domains necessarily to the masses. But EMDs, they kind of go back and forth. Where right now they're working unbelievably well, but they'll go through phases where they're not working as well. They've always worked at least decent, but they will go through this kind of hilly phase where they work great, they work decent, they work okay, and everywhere in between. So it's just you just got to pick what you want to use, or what kind of fits your project. Hopefully that makes sense. From Vince, to find all the keywords you are searching for. I don't know what you mean by find all the keywords you are searching for. I'm guessing you're saying find the keywords you want to rank for. If that's the case, just use your brain to start. Like get Nashville SEO. What goes along with that? Web design, reputation management, stuff like that. SEO, like reverse it SEO in Nashville. You can get ideas down here. You can use the keyword planner to put in that and get variations, or you can use a tool like like Network Empire has. Their keyword research tool. They got the last keyword research tool, and then they have the other big one. But usually, I just use my brain and the suggestion tool, stuff like that. All right, from Vince. When you say put keywords in anchor URL title content, do you mean on money site, PBN, or both? Well, the anchor text, mainly what we're talking about is from the PBNs, but yeah, of course you can do on-site anchor text as well. URL title and content, yeah, you want the keywords in both, and you want to use variations. For especially for your money site, and we go over this in the sink or swim method, the sink or swim section of Supremacy in your Project J members area. But what I've really been doing lately is using, like, so if I'm using let's go to Notepad. Let's say I'm doing something like, we got site.com/cheap car insurance. So since I have cheap car insurance in my URL, then I'm probably going to use an LSI of it in the title. So let's see, something like low priced auto insurance options, or whatever you want to do it past that. But the point is, we have cheap car insurance. So here's kind of a synonym for cheap. Here's a synonym for car, and here's a synonym for, well, I'm sorry, that's the same word. There's not really a synonym for that. So just use as much LSI as you can where, you're not using the same word. Like I wouldn't do cheap car insurance here as well. if possible. There is some type of keywords where you kind of have to repeat them because there's not really variations, but when it's possible, it's very powerful if you can repeat or if you can use the LSI. So again, a synonym for cheap, and then a synonym for car. And that's what I do with my my titles and URLs. And then same thing for the content. You don't want to keep repeating cheap car insurance. Now you want to use low cost, low priced, auto, any type of variations you can use. You want to use. The more the better, because there's no need to keep repeating keywords in your content. It's only going to hurt you down the road. And again, yes, any questions go. From Sue. And hold on one second, I gotta take off my jacket. I'm having hot flashes. Alright, let's see. So all the money sites are on the same shared baby HostGator plan. Yes, you can leave them all on the same shared host baby plan for using different PBNs for each, yes. And each PBN is different. Yes, you can. Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to be linking to them with the same PBNs, then it's not going to be a problem. So even if you did, you might get away with it. But the reason that I recommend not doing that, like if you're going to be linking from the same PBN, so let's say we had, so you got like, Money Site 1, Money Site 2, and Money Site 3, all on same host, which means same shared host, I should say, which equals the same IP, okay? So if you got PBN 1 and it links out to Money Site 1, Money Site 2, and Money Site 3, what you have here is, yeah, you're linking out to 3 different money sites, but all 3 of those money sites are on the same IP, okay? So, and that's very easy for Google to track, and it looks very weird, especially if you keep repeating this. You have a PBN linking to 3 totally different money sites, but those money sites are on the same IP. I mean, again, it's not something that they'll definitely hit, but it's a footprint and it's something that can hurt you. So that's why I recommend not doing that. But if you're saying, yeah, you're going to link to just Money Site 1 from PBN 1 and none of the others, and then PBN 2, you link to just Money Site 2, that's fine because you're not linking to sites on the same IP. All right. So I mean, having all your money sites on the same IP is not a big deal, as long as you are not using PBNs to link to multiple sites on the same IP. Alright? Just like you wouldn't want PBNs on the same IP linking to the same money site. Like if PBN 1 and PBN 2 were on the same IP, you wouldn't want to link to money site 1 from both of these. It's the same both ways. Again, just footprint stuff that can get you in trouble. But yeah, again, to answer the question, if you're going to be linking from different PBNs to money sites on the same IP, that's fine because you're not linking to the same IP from one money site. Different URLs on the same IP. You can put it on both, Sue, and I do that. Social Explosion is awesome, guys. I mean that plugin for the cost and what it does is it's just very, very powerful. That's actually one of the things I'm going to be recommending. For people who are stuck, like get social going, and one of the easiest ways to do that is through social explosion. They just created that RSS feed option, and they have tutorials on how you can use that, where you can actually start sending social to existing pages. Because the way that Social Explosion worked at first was you could install it, and then after the installation, any post you made would get the social signals. But The problem is the pages wouldn't get social signals, and anything that was created previous to the installation wouldn't get social signals. But now with the RSS feed, you can hit anything you want, whether it's a pre-existing page or post or anything like that. And they have tutorials on that in their members area. And they're also, excuse me, again, sorry for the rudeness, coughing and burping into the microphone. But they're also creating another tool right now, which is going to allow you to combine RSS feeds, kind of like a simplified version of Yahoo Pipes, if anyone knows what that is. And it's going to allow you to combine the RSS feeds, put in one feed that hits everything. Okay, so we got some really powerful stuff going on with social explosion options, domain authority stacking, and you can use this with your domain authority stacking. And again, anyone that doesn't know what that is, I'll be making a video this week on it to kind of intro it. Very, very powerful stuff to just add on to the power we already have. So it's going to be awesome. But yeah, you can use social explosion on both the PBNs and the money sites too. Okay, and that will actually definitely help you. So let me get a new screenshot. Alright, from Christina. How do I do social media to my PBNs? From that, won't doing that be a footprint or is it? I mean, one of the ways to do the social media to your PBNs, Christina, is use Social Explosion. I mean, that's just a very, very easy option, and it's really the price they charge for it. I think it's way underpriced, and that's not. I'd make nothing from people using Social Explosion. Like OMG makes nothing. We recommend it because we know it works and it helps our members. So I mean, it's just such an easy option for it. But I mean, if you don't have the money for it, then you're gonna have to manually go out, create accounts, get followers, get friends. Make tweets, make Facebook posts, try to get people to click on your link. Like they have a whole system in place already that really you're getting very cheap. But I mean, the way you can do that manually is go out and create your own accounts, get your own followers, and start tweeting about your links and all that type of stuff. Or you can use Social Explosion. You can also give them juice by sending links to them. You can send PBNs to them. You can send PBNs to your PBNs. You can send Web 2.0s to them. And this is kind of going into domain authority stacking, actually, Christina. That's kind of what it is. Is kind of stacking on stuff to stuff that's going to your money site. That's kind of like the basic description of it. There's more complicated models, but that's kind of like the basic description. Again, I'll be going into that in the video this week. But that has nothing to do with privacy registration, Christina. Those two things are totally different. Hi, Leor. From Christina. It might have not have gotten a screenshot, Christina. I mean, they would have anything. Whoops. Archive.org. They would have anything up that anything that's up is what they have. Is what I'm trying to say. So if we go in and we type in OMG machines. Whoops. What the heck? Oh, web. There we go. Hold on. They changed this up a little bit. Yeah, so anything they have will be in here. Like we started in 2012. The first screenshot was August 26th. And that's when the site wasn't even up yet. We just had it registered there. And then by October 23rd, this is what you saw. We actually had a sales page here instead of what you see on it today. I think we might have been selling a cheap ebook back then. Yeah, we were selling a $49 ebook when we first started. So I mean, anything that you have though will be in these shots. Anything that they had. If they don't have it, they must have just missed any changes that went on with the site. Don't gotta apologize to me, Kurt. From Don. Yeah, again, this is something that we're going to be doing. I'm going to be introducing with the video this week, but I just kind of talked about it. Social explosion's a big one. Sending Web 2.0 links to them, sending high domain authority links, which are Web 2.0. You can send other PBNs to them if you want. But again, I'm gonna be talking about this in the video because a lot of people actually won't even need to do that. Well, I shouldn't say they don't need to, but it's something that we're probably going to be moving more towards because it seems that Google is moving more towards less links as powerful as powerful as you can get those links, like the least amount of links. That's what's working best. So we are moving more towards it, but even right now, a lot of people aren't even going to need to use that or worry about that type of stuff. But we want to cover it before it gets more important. From Leor. And again, I'm going to be making that video this week, probably within a couple of days, along with a couple additional. Leo, that's done with Spider Spanker. And that's Spider with a Y. You can go to spiderspanker.com. Spider is spelled with a Y. That's actually by OMG member Todd Spears from Kara. I'm just trying to reread this question. Not sure exactly what you're saying, Kara. Post site. Too many links out from the site you're building. I mean, more links from the same site won't necessarily do too much for you, Kara. But more links from different properties will help. Using the right anchor text, and of course, if they have high domain authority, page authority, that's great. You don't necessarily want you want as little links as you can do it with, because that's what Google's moving towards is the least amount of links and the most powerful links, and that's where DAS comes in, where you can kind of power up your own links. Have about 10. But yeah, I think that's what you're saying is links from the site that you're building. And in that case, you don't want to send too many links from the same site. Like, you don't want to link to 20 different pages of your parent's MLM business from the same site you're building. I mean, that's not gonna. I don't want to say it's not gonna help you, but it's something that can get you in trouble down the road. Too many links from the same site, especially from multiple pages when it's not like a site-wide link. It's treated a little differently. But if I didn't answer that question the way you wanted, let me know. Ask it in a different way. I am not sure, Kirk. I don't take care of that side of things for us, so I'm not positive. I know the information is coming very soon, though. From Don. I believe I've heard people use Social Send or something like that. But I think it's more expensive, and I'm not even sure it works as well. Okay, so they do allow that, Don. Again, I talked about that a few minutes ago. You can use RSS feeds now with that, and that's something that they cover in the members area on how to do that. Okay, so you can use Social Explosion to do previous posts and pages now. Anything. You can even use Social Explosion now to power up your Web 2.0s. You can use it to power up anything that has an RSS feed. From Marina. I would say if the burbs are like kind of known for, like, if they're different suburbs but they're like known for the area. Like, for example, we did what do we do? I think we did like a Nashville type guide, but we still covered like Brentwood and Franklin because it's they're kind of known as like the same area, even though they're different cities. So if it's like a case like that, Marina, where it's like kind of like well known by the people in those areas, that it's kind of like the same area, even though they have different names, then I would say that's good to use. But of course, wouldn't want to do like, NashvilleCityGuide.com and start doing Chicago, because it's just so different. Or even like Memphis, because it's pretty. I think those two cities are pretty far away. So as long as they're very close together and it's kind of known as the same area, I would say that's fine to do. And it would actually rank okay either way, most likely, Marina. But it's just the kind of like the conversion side. You know what I mean? Someone going to a Nashville site and seeing Nashville guide and seeing stuff about Memphis. I mean, that would throw me off a little bit. I wouldn't trust it as much. But that's just the way I look at it. But as far as ranking, it wouldn't really matter. All right. Hold on 1 second. Alright, so let me get our screenshot here. So we got Marinas, Social Explosion. We have stuff on that in the members area. Leor. Under the Network Empire section, I believe. From Vince. Yes, Vince. The way to get Social Explosion on pages is through RSS feeds. That is correct. And sorry, my son's mother was texting me something important. All right, so yeah, pages, RSS feeds, anything RSS feeds. Jimmy was even showing me today, like getting like a Weebly post on RSS feed. So I mean, you can get anything on an RSS feed and boost it up. So anything you've done, like if you've done Web 2.0 links to your site and you want to boost those up with social, you can put the RSS feed for those Web 2.0 links in Social Explosion. It's really cool. It's pretty awesome. And they have videos on that in their members area. Whoops. All right, from Jay. What SEO software tools research, build, and rank? I mean, we talk about a lot of tools, Jay. I mean, not a lot of them, but like a lot of the tools we talk about, you probably wouldn't even need. I mean, as far as building the site, you're just using WordPress to build it. As far as ranking them, you're using stuff we teach like PBNs and citations for local, which I'll be talking about a lot in the upcoming video. So So I mean, the ranking, the building, that's WordPress and that's PBN type stuff and citations and social type stuff. All right, but as far as research, I mean, a lot of that is kind of using your brain, at least for me. If I'm trying to get business for a Nashville plumber, it's pretty easy. Nashville plumbing, Nashville plumbers, plumbers in Nashville, Nashville TN plumbers, um, and then any type of other services they provide, toilet repair, sink repair. You can go as deep as you want. So I mean, you don't really need any tools, Jay, for any of that stuff, except for like PBNs, and I talk about that in that supremacy section. You can use Register Compass, or you can use the free version, expireddomains.net, if you're on a really tight budget. And then analyzing sites, you can use the OMG Command Center, which is fairly cheap for all the tools it has, or you can get a coupon code for Open Site Explorer and use that for free for 3 months. I mean, there's options out there to use the very cheap versions for as long as you can. Shareaholic is different than Social Explosion, Vince. Two different things. Shareaholic just puts buttons on your site for like the ability to be shared and all that. All right, so they do two different things. All right, from Leor. Awesome. I mean, just because a video is ranking in YouTube definitely doesn't mean it's going to rank in Google. Two different search engines. But I mean, it's good that you're ranking YouTube, of course, number one. But I mean, what you can do for the video, that's something that might help. I don't know whose gig it was. I'm testing some Fiverr gigs right now. I haven't necessarily recommended Fiverr gigs for a while, but it's probably not going to hurt you, and it actually could help you. Again, that's something I'm retesting right now because of the updates that happened about a month ago. But I mean, you can also send more PBNs to the video. You can do the social explosion. You can put in the RSS feed for the video. I believe you can. You can send Web 2.0 stuff, anything with high domain authority to them. Any of that stuff is working very well right now. Awesome, Christina. From Sue. No, I don't really see them looking down on those types of sites. No, I don't think that's true. So, from Don. Yeah, I mean, Don, that's something that can be very powerful because when you do that, like when you have all those social properties linking to your local site, I mean, that's sending juice to the local site right off the bat. You're sending high domain authority links, even if they're no file, it doesn't matter. You're still sending juice to your site. And then when you start powering those up, it powers up the local client site even more, right? And at the same time, it can rank the social properties. So, I mean, that's something where you can dominate the first page with all your social properties. And of course, they're also powering up the client site. So, I mean, yeah, that's something. It depends on what the client's paying you and how big of a project it is. But I mean, that's something that can be extremely powerful. Yeah, you can rank without PBNs, absolutely. And again, something I'll be talking about in that video I'll be doing, a lot of local sites are ranking with citations, and you mix in, if you haven't seen Cotton's video series on, it's called Local Client Crusher. It's in our members there. You get it for free, obviously, because Cotton's one of us. If you haven't gone over that series yet, go over it. I mean, I learned stuff from that It's only an hour long, and I pretty much became an expert on citations again in about an hour. And doing my research, I'm seeing that pretty much all the local sites ranking at the top have citations, mostly citations. And then, if you do the citations the right way, the way Cotton teaches, and then you add in a few PBNs, I mean, that just gives you an unfair advantage. And then on top of that, you can add DAS in. You can power up your citations, which are pointing to your money site, which powers up the citations and the money site. So it can rank the citations. It can help rank your money site. So I mean, the resources we have, and I mean the methods we have right now are just unbelievably powerful. And again, that's we're moving towards teaching more of that stuff now. From Sue. Yeah, you want more WordPress themes that are mobile responsive, definitely. I believe 60% of searches are mobile now, so I actually don't deal with design at all, Sue. That's probably a question I would ask in the Facebook group. Whenever I'm working on projects, I don't deal with that side of it at all. I actually have someone set all that up for me, and I just deal with kind of like the SEO side. All right, from done. I would ask Social Explosion's support desk on that done. Leo, Social Explosion should be in our members area, Project J. Look for the Network Empire section. It'll be somewhere in there. From Kara. Um, I mean, in a way, it could be Kara. I would say it depends on what other types of links they have. Like, if they have no other links, and the only links they're getting keep coming from the same site, that may be frowned upon. I mean, I've never done it, so I can't say for sure whether it would or wouldn't, but it's something that definitely could be. I mean, there's a chance of it, and I would just be careful with it. I mean, if they already have. Look, okay, most likely it will be fine, Kara. I just don't want to give you advice that's going to hurt you. Most likely it will be fine, but I would do it slowly just in case. Because, I mean, whenever I'm answering a question like this where I haven't done it myself, I try to think in terms of Google, like, how would they look at that? And in a way, it looks a little fishy, but at the same time, if they penalized it that easily, then you could negative SEO someone very easily. So, the flip side of that is if it was that easy to hurt your parent site by doing that, then negative SEO would be incredibly easy. So I would say it likely won't hurt you if you do it, but it might not help you if you're doing it too much. Okay, if that makes sense. And that's kind of the best way I can answer that without having done it myself. And again, I also think it depends on how many other links they have. Like, if they have a whole bunch of other links already, I actually think it's something that may work pretty well. But if they have like a thin link portfolio already, you may not get that much juice out of because Google doesn't necessarily trust the site yet, and that's something that may be a little fishy to them. And again, I don't think they would necessarily penalize you for it because, again, that would make negative SEO way too easy if you could just put up a site, put up pages, and keep linking to the same site from different pages. And also sites that have site-wide links. I mean, they're technically linking to that site from every page on their site, right? So I can almost guarantee you now that I think about it that it won't hurt you. But again, it depends on how many links they have as far as how much it's going to help you. All right. From Pat. That's something you would talk to the client about, Pat. And again, I think it depends how much they're paying you and all that type of stuff. I mean, if they already have them in place, the thing is, if you control them, then aside from the money aspect, if you control them, then if the client ditches you, then you can take them all down. If it's something that they control, then most of the stuff that we do to power them up is going to stay in place, and they're going to keep their rankings and not have to pay you anymore. So, I mean, that's a question that you got to kind of decide yourself. You got to. It's kind of like a money issue, and then also how do you want to approach as far as like the future for that client? How much control do you want to have? I mean, hey, a client like that is paying you $5,000 a month, and you just got to go in and make a post to a few social properties, a couple times a week. That's not that bad. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, Pat, I wouldn't necessarily do that for a client that's paying you like a few $100 a month, depending who you are, of course. It may be worth it to you if you're just starting to get that money and kind of get that experience. But for someone that has, that already has a client base and is doing well for themselves, you're not going to want to do that for a client that's only paying you a few $100 a month, or you want to do what makes sense for you. All right, from Pat. I mean, that's something you can bring up for discussion on the Facebook page, or you can tell me the niche and I'll give you an idea. It also depends on your how much resources you have and all that type of stuff, Pat. So I mean, that's something that's great for discussion in the Facebook group, or if you want to bring up the specific niche to me in this session, then I can kind of give you an idea. But really, with the information that Cotton gave in the local client crusher course in your members area, and then basic kind of PBN use, and then what we'll be teaching with domain authority stacking, there's not really anyone that we can't outrank. But as far as how much resources it takes, or how much resources you have, that kind of depends on your resources. From Don. I mean, that's only going to help Don. But again, it depends on what the client's paying you. And I talked about this earlier. When you do that, you create social properties and you power those up. Not only does it power up the site that they're linking to, the client site, but it also can rank the social properties, which is huge. Yes, citations are fine for a new site, yes. I would definitely use citations over press releases. And again, what I'm seeing right now with local is it's like in the competitive niches, no one on the first page doesn't have citations. Like everyone on the first page in the competitive, especially the competitive local niches, have citations, and even like the medium level, most of them have citations. Like citations are freaking huge. So what Cotton taught in that 1 hour video series he did, I think that there's 3 videos. It's just incredibly valuable for what's going on right now. And then and then the fact that you can actually power up your own citations, get your citations ranking. It's crazy what we can do with all that. From Rob. The best way is to So it looks like it's not ranking like very well for the EMD, but it is for like variations. The first thing that I would do is cut down on the on page for your EMD keywords. I mean, it's already in your domain. Use as much LSI as you can. Keep You barely need that EMD keyword in there at all in your content, so you can really cut down the amount of times that you use it. If you have it on inner URL strings, you know that exact word, you may want to play with changing those URL descriptors and taking out the keyword. And then you, of course, 301 the old URL to the new URL. And then on top of that, it depends on what your current anchor text is. You may be a little over optimized for that EMD keyword. You might want to send some like more general type keywords that stay away from that EMD keyword. So I mean, what you do exactly depends on what it looks like. You know, what the content looks like, how much you have that keyword in the content right now, and titles and all that. And then on top of that, it depends on what the links look like, the anchor text for the links. You know, how much is that keyword being used? All right, from Dexter. It may not have gotten indexed yet, Dexter. That would be, yeah, it probably didn't get, okay, you're saying, so just showing in Google search results. As long as you go to the site and when you hover over it, it's the correct title. Like, you see that little bubble that pops up right there? That's the actual title of the page that Google will index, okay? Eventually. So as long as the correct, damn it, the correct title is showing up in that bubble when you hover over it, that's what's going to end up being indexed most of the time. Sometimes there is like weird stuff that goes on, but that's what you want to look at there. Okay. No problem, Rob, and hello from Ada. Awesome, Ada. From Pat. Yeah, I know what you mean, Pat. And I kind of used to find social a little overwhelming too, but it's not as complicated as you think. Like, it's not as painful as you think. Trust me. I used to feel the same way about it, especially with the tools that we have available now, like Social Explosion, stuff like that. From Pat, Mobile Mechanic Sydney. Okay, so that's going to be in Australia. What was it again? Mobile Mechanic. Oops. Alright, so add. Alright, so the first one is an EMD. True local. Another EMD. I just want to look at these more general type domains first. See what they got going on. They only got 4 links. As long as they're not hiding links, this is not going to be hard to do. Because it looks like they haven't even got citations going. Let's look at their anchor text. So it looks like they just have maybe a couple citations here. I think that's what those are. True local, I think citation. Hot frog, I think citation. And they're number one in the maps with just those couple citations. So this should be extremely easy to do. Let's actually go to. This is something that Cotton covers in his video series, but we can actually go look to make sure that those are citations. If they're number one in the 7-pack with just 2 citations, I mean, that's going to be very, very easy for you. Alright, so let's go to Citation Finder. Oops. Australia. Sydney. I don't know which one it is. Actually, let me do a business search. No. Damn it. Why is it not letting me do that? And we don't need to use this. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it looks like so far from this first site it's going to be very easy. Let's go to the second one really quick. Let's throw them in here. And they only have 2 links. So this is going to be pretty easy. For sure. I mean, the number 4 and number 5 sites have 6 links between the 2 of them. You can go get a small citation pack and probably outrank all of these guys. So yeah, I would say that would actually be pretty easy to rank in. All right, Pat. Good question, Pat. Anywhere where you have the address. So if you put the address on a PBN, it would technically count as a citation. But you're not going to need to do any of that stuff from the looks of it. You're just going to need to go through Cotton's course if you haven't. And with his information, you'll rank pretty easily. All right, from Sue. Yeah, I mean, they can be Sue. Fiverr's a little dangerous if you're not experienced, just because you never know what someone's actually giving you. You know, it's only $5. If you can, I would recommend to stay away from. I mean, I know there is Fiverr gigs out there that they're fine, but there's so many bad ones that I would. My best recommendation is just stay away from them unless you get a certain gig from someone that you trust that they said they've tested. Okay. From Don. I mean, you can power up citations, of course. You know, that can rank your citation. It can also help boost the money site because the citation is linked to the money site. I think Ahrefs does a better job of indexing links, Don. So that's why I use Ahrefs. But yeah, you can even use SERPed, and it gives you all of them. And I use everything still. I go back and forth between everything. But SERPed is actually the OMG command center, so I don't confuse anyone. If you get SERPed, go in through the OMG command center because you get at a discount. And we don't make any money off that. We forfeited our affiliate commissions so you guys could get it cheaper. So if you get it, make sure you don't go to serp.net, but go to OMG Command Center so you get it for a cheaper price. So if you go to like the Site Explorer and put in a site, let's go to this one. It will actually give you the links from all of these aggregators. Ahrefs, Majestic, Open Site Explorer. And we'll wait for that to load. From Rob. As much as makes sense, Rob. If you got, for example, we go back to our Nashville SEO example. If we're mentioning reputation management in here, we're going to link to the reputation management page. If we mention web design, we're going to link over to web design. If we mention social media, we're going to link over to the social media page. So I wouldn't force it, but if you're mentioning content, do you have pages on, link over to that page. You know what I mean? So for example, if I mention web design, instead of going into what we do for web design, I'm just going to give them a link. And if they want to click it and they want to know more about web design, they'll go to the page on web design. You know what I mean? So just keep it natural like that. Alright. And Cotton just messaged me. It's funny, we were just talking about him. Alright, from Christina. Add content. This site did I use as a landing page? Oh, yeah. It should, Christina. The page is still going to get crawled. But what you can do, if for some reason you don't want it to linked in the menu, you can even link over to that article blog from your your home page or whatever, or wherever you want to link to it from. That way it'll get picked up easier, but it's most likely going to get picked up anyways. From Sue. Oh, you're very welcome, Sue. Glad you're learning from it. See if we got any more here. I know we don't have a ton of people on tonight. We got a couple more. So if you got any final questions, it is 9, but whatever. If you got questions, I want to answer them. Let's see if that report's up, actually. Why any final questions come in. Alright, here we go. So if you run a for the OMG Command Center, it's basically the price of one of those tools, but you get so many other tools in here. Not just this tool, but a ton of other tools. My favorite's actually this one right here, the Backlink Explorer. That's what I use for research for PBNs. I just throw the URL in here, and it gives me all the information. It tells you all the information about the links going to that PBN. You know what I mean? Okay, the first link is a PR4. It's from a Domain Authority 30 site. The anchor text is this. The Alexa ranking for the site is this. So it gives you all the information on one screen, so you don't have to open up the links individually. So that's by far my favorite tool. But even this is cool, where you can see all the stuff in one. Here's Ahrefs information. Here's Moz information. Here's Majestic. Here's the trust flow thing. Here's the links right here that we saw before. Site backlinks, anchor text. So this is a really cool tool because it has all the tools in one. You know what I mean? It pulls from all of them. You can kind of see everything. But I mean, that's just one of many tools in this OMG Command Center. Very cool tool. Alright, so let me go take a final screenshot. My throat is on fire. Alright, from Pat. Oh yeah, that again, Pat, that's included in the command center. Like, that's just one thing. That's just one aggregator right here. You know what I mean? To get all this information, you would have to sign up for Ahrefs, Moz, and Majestic. Ahrefs is $79 a month. This is $99 a month, and this is, I believe, also $79 a month. So I mean, that right there would cost you, for these three, would cost you almost $300, and that's expensive. And the OMG Command Center, I believe, is the price of like one of these, or even less. I think I forget. But yeah, if you sign up for the OMG Command Center, you definitely don't need to sign up for these individually. I still keep individual memberships just because it is quicker sometimes, and sometimes I want to go through stuff quick. Just because I analyze all the time, you know, that's like my job for you guys, is to kind of keep on top of stuff and analyze. So I will use Ahrefs still by itself because it's just a little quicker. But I mean, for pretty much everyone else in our community, there's no reason why you can't use just this. All right, let's see, from Pat again. Yeah, I mean, the first thing you do, Pat, is you're looking at the backlinks. You know what I mean? Seeing what kind of stuff. 'Cause, I mean, that's the biggest thing. We could even look at this EMD here. I can tell you the EMD is definitely helping them a lot because the EMDs are working very well right now. But let's just go see what type of links the EMD has to it. Just because I'm curious now that you brought that up. And the EMD has one link. Okay. I'm just interested to see what that link is. It's from another EMD that they own, which I think is the other site that's ranking. Isn't it? I think, isn't that the second site ranking? Or the third? Yeah, it's from this site right here. That's funny. So this site is actually theirs too, and they just used it to link to this site up here. But let's go look at their other site that they own, obviously, because it's linking to them. Let's see if that has any links. That has three links from two sites. From three sites, I'm sorry. And they're using a little 301 trick here. But that only has three links. Two kind of... These might be like... this looks like just like a blog type link. This... I'm not sure quite what that is. Whoops. And then, of course, that 301 from an old site. But yeah, I mean, the sites that are ranking are not powerful with links. You guys are all welcome. Alright, from Pat here. Yeah, that's definitely something that you could do with a silo for that, Pat. If you're going to be going that deep into the niche, you can definitely do a silo for it. Absolutely. Alright, cool. So it looks like that is all. My next session will probably be next Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And again, I will probably shoot those upcoming videos on Wednesday, as long as my voice holds up. Again, my throat is on fire right now, so hopefully it goes away by Wednesday, and I'll get those videos shot. I think they're going to be very helpful for everyone. Again, I'll be introing domain authority stacking, and you will get an idea of how to use it. Not an idea, you'll know how to use it, like the basic forms of it. And then also I'll be analyzing some local sites kind of on camera and showing you what's working now and why you need to go through Cotton's course on local citation crusher, and also of course how we have an advantage because we can mix in PBNs and domain authority stacking and all that stuff. So I'll have those videos hopefully done by Wednesday, and they should be up by this weekend at the latest. All right. All right. Thank you everyone for coming out, and I will see you all on the next webinar. Talk to you all soon.